Hello young developers, and welcome back to my second and last video of my JavaScript short tutorial getting ready for the React Native webinar. I don't want to make this any longer, so let's just start. One more important thing to mention is that each object has also methods. So we want to create, for example, let's say get presentation, okay? Or just, let's call it just presentation. And we hit 2 points, and now we need to declare a function, okay? And I will call it presentation. And this is how we declare functions in JavaScript. And now I want this function right here to return this console log. Okay, so this one I will delete it. And one thing very important, we instead of person1, we will write this. This right here will take the object that has these methods right here. So we will Control C and Control V right here. And instead of person1 will be this. And each time you access the person1 presentation function, it will do this right here. It's like objects in C++. If you did C++ in high school, it will be really easy for you to understand. And now we write person1 dot and presentation. And very important, we need to use the parentheses to call the function. Okay, if we leave it like this, it will not happen anything. It will not throw an error because this represents the value of the function itself. This will call the function. So now if we Control S and we execute, you can see that it will throw us the exact same console log. But to be honest, this is already too much objects for us. We are not going to learn JavaScript object-oriented programming, so we will go to the next one. Now I want to present you control flow. That means if conditionals, for loops, while loops, etc. Okay, we will leave this object as it is right now, and we will create a new const. I will create extract knowledge, okay, and this will be equal to person1.knowledge. So we will take the knowledge value, that will be this array, and we will store it in this variable right here. Okay, so this knowledge will be the same, and this will be a new knowledge, and we can manipulate this. And now I want to present you the for loop. How is the for loop in JavaScript? It's again very easy. Everything in this programming language is so easy. It's amazing. That's why I love it. And now let's create a function that will take every element from extract knowledge and it will console log out. So we create the function, we will write function keyword and then how we call it. For example, get elements, parentheses, and inside of parentheses we need to put the parameters that we want to receive. In this case I will receive the array. Okay, this is how we want to call it. So let's just do A to be easier. Then we open the brackets. And now we will do a for loop that will go through every element from the array that we will get passed. So it will be for, open parentheses, we initialize with the value 0, then we will check if it's less than, and now we will take the array dot length, okay, without parentheses. So it will initialize with 0, and while it's less than the length, in this case it will be 3, okay, we will add 1 to the element. This plus plus, it's adding 1 to the value. So now we open the bracket, then we will put console.log, and we take the array, and we will return the element located at this value right here. Okay, so it will initialize this with 0, and while this is less than the length of this array, okay, it will throw us this value plus 1. And it will console log. So it starts with 0, it will output this first one, and it's less than 3, okay, so it will add 1 and it will be 1 now. So it will throw out the next element. Okay, so now if we control save and then we execute the code, nothing will happen. Why? Because we need to call the function as well. So now we will write get elements, and we need to pass right here the array that we want to do this to. So it's extract knowledge in this case. We Control S, we execute, and we will see that it works. We delete all the code that we did before, and now let's check this knowledge array right here. So we will do an if, and if person1 dot knowledge, okay, so we access this object right here, length, it's equal to 0. Okay, so in JavaScript, to check if something is equal, we will use 2 equals. Okay, if you use only 1, it will assign the value 0 to this variable right here. So we check with 2 equals, and in this case we will console.log let's learn. Then we will do an else if, And now if the length of this is, let's say, bigger than 0, we will open brackets console.log, and let's put right here congrats. Okay, so now if we control save and then we execute the code, it will throw us congrats because it's bigger than 0. But let's say that we have this absolutely empty. If we execute the code again, it will say us let's learn. The while loop, exactly as the for and the if conditional, is the same as in any other programming language. In this case, the syntax will be the next. We write while, we open a parenthesis, and we will say while n less than 12, for example. We will initialize here let n equals 0. Okay, so while n is less than 12, we will console.log n, and then we write n++. So one more thing to mention, I don't know if you observed till now, is that the semicolons are optional in JavaScript. So I can just put here no semicolon and here one semicolon, and it will work exactly the same. So it's completely optional. Me personally, sometimes I forget to put it, sometimes I put it, so don't follow my coding rules right now, okay? So put it all the time. My recommendation is to put it, because in my case sometimes I forget, and when I code in C++ I forget as well, so just put the semicolons. And now if we execute this code, we will see it counted from 0 to 11, so it's perfect. The next thing I want to present to you is very important, and they're called arrow or anonymous functions. An anonymous function will look exactly like this. So this is a function that it's not declared, it doesn't have a name, it's a function that it's just anonymous, how the name says. So you can pass right here any property you want. For example, you can pass an element called e, an element called element, anything, and you can just do anything you want with them. And we can just create, for example, const anon, and we will put equal, the parentheses, then the arrow, we open brackets, and we will do anything we want here. Let's say, for example, console.log. Hello, I'm anonymous. And this function right here will be stored in this variable. You know that I mentioned before that JavaScript is a first class function programming language. This is one of the things that that paradigm means. It's that you can treat functions as variables. So you can take this function right here and just store it in this one. If we type anon with the parentheses, okay, we can just execute this function. But if we do console.log anon and we execute it, we will see the function and its name. And if we put type of anon and we execute, it will say that it's a function. And now probably you're questioning, how is this useful? Well, look, for example, here in presentation, we could have just deleted this, and then after the parentheses, we put an arrow. Okay, and it will be much easier and more readable to do this. And now if we execute person1.presentation, okay, because this is an anonymous function and it's stored in this value, so if we execute this one, it will throw us an error. Why? Because anonymous function doesn't have the this keyword, okay, because it's anonymous. This function is created and it's anonymous and it doesn't have in this object. So what we need to do is, instead of this, we need to put person1. So we replace with person1, and now if we execute the code, it will be good. It will throw us exactly the same. And the next and probably most important reason for the arrow functions to exist is the fact that they are very useful for the callbacks functions. What is a callback? It's when you create a function and inside the function you can pass as a parameter another function and it will execute. So it sounds complicated, but trust me, it's not. So now we will just create first function, okay? And now that I explained it to you, the arrow function, I will use them almost every time. So you will see me code with arrow functions almost only. In cases where I need this keyword, I will not use arrow functions, but 99% of the time I will use them because I love them. I think they look amazing and they are very useful. So we will create a constant, okay? And then we will assign a value to it, and it will be an arrow function, okay? And now we will pass a callback function and a value, for example. Okay, so now the first function will console.log first function executed, okay, and then it will take the callback function and execute it, passing the value, okay. And now instead of creating a second function and passing it to this, we will do the next first function, and now here the function will receive another function, okay? So we are calling this function right here, the first function, and as the first parameter we will pass an anonymous function, okay, an arrow one. and this one, what we'll do is console.log, and the thing is, this value right here, we will pass it here, okay, because this function is an anonymous function. It will receive a parameter and then will console log this parameter, okay, and the next parameter that first function receives is the value that will call this function with that value, okay. So if we put, for example, second function, okay, and we execute it, we'll see that first function executed and then the second function executed. We have the first function that will take as a parameter callback function and the value. We call it, we pass an anonymous function, and to this anonymous function we will pass a parameter. It can be any parameter we want, okay, we can call it how we want. In this case I will call it value, okay. Let's call it to see how it works, L, for example, okay, and it will work element. So we just created a function right here, an anonymous function, and it will receive element and console or log it, and then to the first function we will pass the second parameter, that it's a value, a simple value, anything you want, and inside this first function we will call this function that we passed right here with this value, okay. So we pass second function, and then this function right here will take the value, in this case second function, and will console log it, and as you can see in the output, the first function executed and then did a callback to this function right here, that is the one that we created here, and it will execute one and then the another. And now we are arriving to the end of this video. I want to present you one more very important thing, and it's called destructuring. Alright, so let's say I have person 1 and I want to, instead of using person.myname to access its variable, I want to just use my name, but I don't want to just do this all the time, const my name equals to person1.myname, because it will take some time, more time that it needs to. To declare all the functions, we can use destructuring. How does it look? It will look like this, const, and then we open brackets, and we will use the name for every variable. In this case, my name, okay, it's equal to person1. And what we'll do this, we'll create a const named my name, and with destructuring, with this right here, we'll take the variable with the same name as the property from person1. In this case, it will take the value of my name, Jacob, and store it in this variable. And now we can just console that log my name. And if we execute the code, we will see right here Jacob. But the thing is, if we take this and we delete it and then we execute the code, it will throw us an error because my name is not defined. So we can do this for absolutely every constant right here. We can put as well my age and knowledge as well, okay. So if we execute the code, it will throw us the name. Now if we put here, instead of my name, we put my age and we execute it, it will throw us the same, okay. So this is called destructuring, and this is it. There are a lot of things that I could have explained more than this. The thing is, for now and for our webinar, we don't need it, okay. So this is like a video to explain the essential things so you can understand everything in the webinar. I hope you loved the video. I hope you don't have questions left, but if you do, just send me an email, just leave a comment, contact me through WhatsApp, just ask me. I will try and help everyone out the best I can. And for more tutorials, you can visit my YouTube channel. For now, I only have 5 or 6 videos, but I will be uploading a lot of videos. I will be doing a full modern web development module and a lot of things. And that's it for now. I can't wait to see you on the React Native webinar. Goodbye, developers.